Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Warren Field in Brookline, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of today's Lou Tompkins All-Star League 18 and under summer baseball contest between the visitors of Reading Red and hosting Brookline. Brookline coming into this contest with a 6-3 record. They have won 4 straight, 5 if you count the forfeit win that everyone in the league got because of the dissolution of the Acton-Boxborough team. Reading Red unbeaten so far this summer, 8-0-1. So you know they're going to provide a tough contest for Brookline here if they want to keep their winning streak going. You see Reading Red finishing their warm-ups. In the meantime, I'm just going to be typing in the starting lineups for today. I'll start with Reading Red as I type it in. I'll try and read it as I go. Leading off for Reading Red, the left fielder, number 13, Ben Wright. Batting second, the shortstop, number 11, Will Moore. Batting third, the second baseman, number 15, Nick Bartolini. Batting cleanup, the first baseman, number 12, Michael Fabiano. Batting fifth, the catcher, number 6, Nick Mazzarella. Batting sixth, the pitcher, number 9, Brian Beneke. Batting seventh, the center fielder, number 17, Matthew Walsh. Batting eighth, the extra hitter, number 8, Jack Ramo. Batting ninth, another extra hitter, so it looks like they're running 2 extra hitters today. This one, number 14, Ryan Mulvey. Batting 10th, the third baseman, number 5, Chris Hanifan. And batting 11th, the right fielder, number 4, Tyler Abreu. Now, it's very possible that what's actually going on here is that the last player on the roster, Abreu, might just be playing the field today. You know, certainly we'll see as we go, but that is the starting lineup for Reading Red today. Looking at the lineup for Brookline, leading off for them, the center fielder, number 44, Justin Liu. Batting second, the catcher, number 8, Ben Doctoroff. Batting third, the third baseman, number 27, Elias Brendel. Batting cleanup, the extra hitter, number 15, Owen Hoffman. Batting fifth, the first baseman, number 17, Adam Rosenblatt. Batting sixth, Oh, no, wait, I got things out of order. Batting fifth for Brookline is actually the pitcher, number 2, Charlie Engelman. Then batting sixth is the first baseman, number 17, Adam Rosenblatt. Batting seventh, the shortstop, number 7, Caden Sheehan. Batting eighth, the left fielder, number 25, Ellis Martino. Batting ninth, the right fielder, number 19, Ben Rosenblatt. And batting 10th, the second baseman, number 12, James Skeffington. Head coach of the Brookline 18U summer baseball team is John Busey. So soon we'll be ready to get this one underway. Once again, thank you all for tuning in. As always, if you enjoy this live stream, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams. And then, of course, if there's anything you'd like to say, I encourage you to say it in the live chat. If you simply want to say go Brookline or go Reading, no matter who you're rooting for, we appreciate the good vibes in the live chat. And then if you want to give a shout out to a specific player, that's always fun. If you want to let us know where you're tuning in from, that's always fun. And if you notice any technical difficulties, I encourage you to speak up. Might be something I don't notice on my end, and it might be something I can fix. My audio, my headset was acting a little funky before the game, so if anything goes haywire with the audio, please speak up and let me know if it's going haywire on y'all's end, and then I can make my best efforts to fix it. And then, of course, particularly for any Reading fans, if you notice me butchering the pronunciation of any names, I encourage you to correct me in the live chat. But for now, we see Brookline taking the field as they get ready to defend in the top of the first inning. Starting on the mound for Brookline today is number 2, Charlie Engelman. Engelman's been one of the more reliable pitchers for Brookline so far this summer. He is making his team-leading 5th appearance and 5th start on the mound this summer. He has a 1-0 record on the mound as he's had a number of no decisions. He's pitched a team-leading 17 innings, has a team-leading 15 strikeouts, and so far for the summer, he has an ERA of 3.71 and a WHIP of 1.71. So Engelman really sort of been the number 1 pitcher in this rotation for this summer Brookline team. And he's proved largely up to the task so far. Of course, Brookline witnessed a very strong pitching performance from one of their other go-to guys, Owen Hoffman, yesterday in their narrow 3-1 win over the Belmont Watertown Co-op. Hoffman pitched all 7 innings for that game, allowing just 1 run. And of course, that's part of the difficulty that comes up in this summer season is just having guys available. Some guys will go on vacation with their families or what have you. Some of them might be rehabbing injuries from the spring because this season is right after the varsity season. There's a lot of things that will make guys unavailable, and where that particularly becomes a struggle is with pitching. So having guys that you can count on to eat innings the way Hoffman did yesterday is really huge for these summer squads. We got our first note in the live chat from one of our regular fans, Barbara Jo Metzger. Just a normal old Go Brookline. Happy to see you tuning in, Barbara. Looking forward to a good one here today. Will Reading Red keep their undefeated season alive, or will Brookline hand them their first loss while securing their 5th straight win? All right, they've concluded their meeting at the center of the infield, and soon we will be getting this one underway. Some dark clouds hovering around the area. I don't think there's any rain in the forecast until later tonight, and here's hoping that rings true. But in the meantime, we've got a baseball game to play. Leading off for Reading Red, the left fielder, number 13, Ben Wright. First pitch from Engelman misses outside for ball 1. And this one's a grounder over to third, juggled a bit by Brendel, picks back up, long throw, and it's beat out by Wright. So we'll call that one either an infield single or an E5. I'll check Game Changer and see what they've scored it as. In the meantime, now batting the shortstop, number 11, Will Moore. First pitch in there for strike 1. According to Game Changer, that reach by Wright was on an E5, and I would agree with that call. As the pickoff attempt unsuccessful, Wright dives back. Oh, and 1 the count to Moore. That one misses. 1-1 the count. I might have some delayed ball and strike calls on my announcing today, folks. We got a ump that takes a little time when making his calls. That one, though, is obviously ball 2. But, you know, I don't begrudge them for that. Like I always say, have respect for the umps. We can't have the games without them. And you know what? If they want to have a little fun with it, give a little bit of an extra delay, a little bit of extra panache on their ball and strike calls, I don't begrudge them that. Wright taking off. It's a low throw, and that one's not going to get there in time. That's going to be ball 3, and Wright is going to take second base. Three and 1 the count to Moore. And that one's going to miss high for ball 4. So an E5 and a walk to start the inning for Reading Red as they are threatening 2 runners on, nobody out. Up comes the second baseman, number 15, Nick Bartolini. First pitch is a hard grounder up the middle, fielded at short, flipped to second for 1, on to first, and they've got the 6-4-3 double play. Big turnaround for the Brookline defense. Wright does advance to third, but a big 2-out get there. Now batting with 2 outs and a runner at third, the first baseman, number 12, Michael Fabiano. First pitch going to miss outside for ball 1. It's well executed by the Brookline defense. Caden Sheehan, the shortstop, James Skeffington, the second baseman, Adam Rosenblatt at first for the 6-4-3. Swing and a miss there for strike 1. That one comes in low for ball 1. And I think we might have something slightly incorrect here as I see number 12 on the Reading bench. So I might have some wrong information on the initial roster I was given. This one's going to be sliced foul and out of play for strike 2. And in fact, this appears to be number 6, Nick Mazzarella. And in fact, it was Fabiano who was just up, so I got that mixed up with Bartolini. This one is sliced foul and right towards me, but it hit the trees. Thank goodness for the trees. ended up bouncing off the fence. I don't know if you could see that. I was just a bit concerned about my own camera there, but thankfully everything is okay. Some big gusts blowing out here at Warren. Swing and a miss, and Mazzarella goes down on strikes. Engelman and Brookline get out of the early jam here in the first inning. We are scoreless heading into the bottom of the first, and wow, these are some really intense winds for a summer day. Just some mild concern about what that might mean, but in the meantime, players coming out onto the field for Reading as Brookline gets ready to send their first three hitters to the plate, Lou, Doctoroff, and Brendel. And we've got some slight corrections in terms of the roster. Chris Hannafan, who was initially listed as the third baseman, he's playing second. And Ryan Mulvey, who was listed as an extra hitter, is in fact playing third. So I'm not sure if Bartolini is playing at all, or if he was just erroneously on the roster, but we'll figure it out as we go. So far, everything else seems to be adding up okay. And in the meantime, the pitcher for Reading, number 9, Brian Beneke, will be facing the top of the Brookline order. And I'm sure you can hear, even through my mic, the distinct sound of paddle on ball coming from the tennis courts nearby where they are playing pickleball. It's a sound that has become more and more familiar over the past few years. Games really caught on. And now we get ready for the start of the bottom of the first. And leading off for Brookline is going to be the center fielder, number 44, Justin Liu. Liu so far this summer, 5 for 8, 4 walks, 2 hit by pitches, 2 stolen bases, 5 runs scored, and 2 RBI as he swings and misses at that low pitch there. You can see all those season stats on the little graphic at the bottom of your screen. Good contact, and that's going to go right up the middle for a leadoff single for Justin Liu. Liu's been hitting very well the past few games for Brookline. Yesterday, he reached base on all 3 of his plate appearances with 2 singles and a walk. Now he stands at first, and up for Brookline is the catcher, number 8, Ben Doctoroff. First pitch going to miss outside for ball 1. Doctoroff hitting at a slash line of .333, 400, 370 with 2 steals, 6 runs, and 5 RBI. Slightly new wrinkle I've added to the season's stats, where if a player's had around 20 or more plate appearances for the summer, then I convert his numbers to batting average, on-base percentage, and slugging percentage, the 3 slash lines you see right there. Liu taking off for second. Pitch is going to miss outside. Quick throw to second, but Liu is quicker. Runner now in scoring position, a 2-1 count to Doktorov. Doktorov has been hitting a bit of a slump lately. He was 9 for 19 going into the game at Billerica last week. He is 0 for his last 8. But a big opportunity to break that slump here with a runner in scoring position. Slices that one, going to stay in the infield. Fabiano under it for out number 1. Now batting for Brookline, the third baseman, number 27, Elias Brendel. One out, runner at second. First pitch catches the inside corner for strike 1. Brendel so far this season, .444 batting average, .583 on base, .667 slugging, tied for the team lead with 5 walks, has 4 steals, 6 runs, and 6 RBI. He also leads the team in extra base hits with 2 doubles and a triple. That one almost hits him. It did hit him. Elias Brendel with the hit by pitch, and he's going to trot down to first. 2 runners on with 1 out, and now coming up the extra hitter, number 15, Owen Hoffman. As you can see on the bottom of your screen, Hoffman hitting at a pretty decent clip so far this summer himself. .435, .480, .478, team leading 10 hits, 3 steals, 5 runs scored, and a team leading 9 RBI as he takes strike 1 there. That one hits the zone as well, strike 2. Hoffman behind early in this at-bat, 0-2. Lou's taking off for third, pitches outside, delayed throw. They're going to second trying to trap Brendel. Brendel is caught up in a pickle. Brendel going to try for second. He is out. Lou's trying for home, and he slides in safe. Wild, zany sequence for Brookline as they got aggressive on the base paths. Paid off in a way. Lou successfully stole third. Brendel with a delayed takeoff, and the catcher caught Brendel going for second. Brendel, instead of racing back to first, decided to kind of stand in between in no man's land and draw out a pickle. That gave Lou time to race for home. That one's going to miss high for ball 2. So for those of you scoring at home, you can score Lou as stealing third and stealing home and scoring a run, while Brendel was caught stealing second. Swing and a miss. Hoffman goes down on strikes, and that ends the inning. Well, Brookline with the aggressive, zany base running takes the lead after 1. Our score, Brookline 1, Reading Red 0. So Justin Liu with 3 stolen bases in one sequence. And now Charlie Engelman returning to the mound for a second inning of work. Now, like I said, my roster might be slightly off. You know, the Reading Red coach did tell me when he gave me the roster that it was not necessarily the final roster, and we saw that in the first inning with the correction regarding number 15, Nick Bartolini, who is slated to bat third and play second base. But in fact, he was not batting third and he's not playing second. But if the rest of my lineup that I was given lines up correctly, then it will be Beneke, Walsh, and Ramo coming up here on the top of the second. Engelman, a little shaky at times in that first inning. I mean, technically the first batter reached on an error, and the second batter on a walk. So technically speaking, that 6-4-3 double play should have ended the inning, but instead it had 2 outs and a runner at third, and Engelman was able to stand in and get the strikeout he needed. See how he handles the second inning. Leading off for Reading Red, the pitcher, number 9, Brian Beneke. First pitch swings low, strike one. So in the second inning, it appears we're going to see the two teams' pitchers facing off against each other in each half of the inning. Beneke leading off here. Engelman slated to lead off in the second inning, as both pitchers are batting fifth for their respective teams today. That pitch was low for ball one. That one catches the inside corner, strike two. That one misses high and inside for ball two. That one in the dirt for ball three. And this one lifted deep to center field. Justin Liu on his horse, and he's not going to catch up to it. That's going all the way to the wall for extra bases as Beneke runs down to second for a leadoff double. Excuse me. Brian Beneke starts off the second inning with a bang. And now if my lineup is correct, batting now should be the center fielder, number 17, Matthew Walsh, as he hits a first pitch grounder to short, fielded, thrown to first, and that's a one pitch out. One pitch, one out. Engelman's got to be happy to see that. Now batting is number 3. First pitch is going to be high and in for ball one. Give me just a second while I track down this man's name. Matt Fichera. And that one's going to miss for ball two. So it is Matt Fichera, number 3, not number 8, Jack Ramo. Engelman turns around and briefly checks on Beneke at second. Fichera lines that one foul. And gets a tip of it again. Strike 2. That one hits the zone, strike 3. Engelman bounces back nicely from a 2-0 count to get his second K of the day. Now if my roster is correct, next up should be the third baseman, number 14, Ryan Mulvey. Got an attempted pickoff as, again, Beneke gets back safe. 2 down and a runner at second. First pitch, it's a high hopper. It gets past Brendel at third and into left. Beneke going to hold at third as Mulvey is going to reach on what's either a single or an E5. Wasn't necessarily a routine play, but it did bounce. Did bounce past the third baseman. Now up the second baseman, number 5, Chris Hannafan. First pitch in the zone for strike 1. Scorekeepers have given Mulvey a single on Game Changer. Runners at the corners, 2 down. That one's fouled off for strike 2. Oh, and 2, the count to Hannafan. He lifts this one into shallow right, but charging in and taking it is Rosenblatt. And once again, Engelman gets out of the jam. For the second straight inning, Reading Red gets a runner all the way to third, but cannot bring him home. Good poise from Engelman and the Brookline defense behind him. And we move to the bottom of the second. Brookline with a narrow 1-0 lead. Due up for Brookline will be Engelman, Adam Rosenblatt, and Sheehan. First time in a little bit, I've got to specify which Rosenblatt, as we got both of them playing today. First time in a little bit. Brian Beneke back on the mound for Reading. It's interesting how both pitchers have kind of a sidearm throw, but where Engelman's is a little more high, a bit of a diagonal thing, Beneke's got almost like this shortstop type throw, closer to a submarine than an overhand. So each one in the middle with a sidearm, but each one leaning closer to the other direction. And now that other pitcher is batting for Brookline, number 2, Charlie Engelman. First pitch comes in at his back for a wild ball 1. Engelman so far this season, a slash line of 316, 435, 421 with 1 stolen base, 3 runs scored, and 4 RBI. That one comes in high for ball 2. Engelman is tied with Brendel for the team lead in doubles so far. They each have 2 so far this summer. Engelman got both of those 2 doubles in last week's game at Billerica. That one's going to miss outside, an early hitter's count at 3-0. And that one, Engelman took a beat to check with the ump, who does have, a slight delay on his calls. Sometimes gives a little more pizzazz to them, but in fact, no signal there to signify ball 4. So 4-pitch leadoff walk for Charlie Engelman. Now batting for Brookline, the first baseman, number 17, Adam Rosenblatt. First pitch catches the inside corner for strike 1. Rosenblatt, a slash line of 412, 524, 412, 1 steal, 3 runs scored, and 4 RBI. And he pops this one into foul territory. Mulvey chasing, and it's just over the fence and out of play. Rosenblatt behind early at 0-2. That one is a high ball, attempted pickoff throw, and Engelman dives back. Quick reaction from Mazzarella to attempt the pickoff there, but Engelman not fooled. Another pickoff attempt, and just barely Engelman gets back safe. That was a very quick throw from Beneke. And a nice tag attempt by Fabiano. Engelman playing it smart and going to the outside of the bag, which gave him that fraction of a second he needed to get back safe. Rosenblatt, a hard grounder over to second, fielded, thrown to second for 1, on to first, not in time, and it's going to be a fielder's choice. Grounder just slow enough and deep enough into the infield that prevented the potential double play. Now batting for Brookline, the shortstop, number 7, Mayfield-Sheehan. First pitch misses low for ball 1. Sheehan so far this summer hitting at a clip of 400, 471, 467, 2 steals, 5 runs scored, and 6 RBI. And he rockets one deep to center, but right at the center fielder, who's going to haul that one in for out number 2. As a player, it's always got to be a little frustrating when you get all of a pitch, but it just goes in the wrong direction and right at a fielder instead of in the gap. And so that'll be out number 2. Now batting for Brookline, the left fielder, number 25, Ellis Martino. Martino so far this summer 1 for 6, 2 walks, 1 hit by pitch, 1 steal, and 2 runs. That one either in the zone or he went around. Either way, strike one. 1-1 the count. Rosenblatt stands at first with 2 down. That one catching in the zone, strike 2. That one misses inside for ball 2. Rosenblatt takes off. Martino hits a grounder right back to Beneke, and he flips it to first for out number 3. Brookline leaves 1 stranded. And through to the score, Brookline 1, Reading Red 0. That zany double steal by Brookline from the first inning, still representing the only score on the board. Gonna mute the mic for a sec, but I'll be right back. All right, and I'm back. As we get ready for the top of the 3rd inning, Engelman back on the hill for Brookline. Due up, if I have my lineup sheet right now for Reading Red, it should be the 10-1 2 hitters, Abreu, Wright, and Moore. Now batting for Reading, the right fielder, number 4, Tyler Abreu. First pitch, and it's a grounder past Engelman, charging in, and Sheehan bobbles it. And Abreu is going to reach. I think we can score that one on E6, but I'm going to double check. As now we cycle around to the top of the order for Reading with the left fielder, number 13, Ben Wright. First pitch in there, strike 1. Abreu taking off for second, pitch is high, and Doctoroff bobbled it on the transfer. And Abreu takes second. It was a good high pitch to try and give the catcher a bit of a jump there, but just kind of bobbled. The transfer from glove to hand, and now Wright hits a pop-up into shallow left. And Sheehan tracks it back there for out number 1. Now batting, the shortstop, number 11, Will Moore. Attempted pickoff, and Abreu had to dive back for that one as they almost caught him unawares, but not unawares enough. Moore, his last time up, he reached on a walk but was left stranded. Or actually, no, he wasn't left stranded. He got thrown out on the double play ball. That's right. Takes strike 1 there. That one's going to miss inside for ball 1. And this one's a dribbler up the third base line, and it's foul. Almost collected in fair territory by Brendel, and Moore might have been able to reach if that had happened. But it was just left of the line, and so it'll be strike 2. And now a grounder back to Engelman, and he checked the runner at third, was not going to be able to get him, and so he flips it to first for the second out. Abreu got a very good break on the ball, which is what forced Engelman to just go to first. You could see he wanted to go to third and try and get the lead runner, but he has to settle. Now batting the first baseman, number 12, Michael Fabiano. First pitch misses outside for ball 1. Fabiano, his last time up, grounded into a 6-4-3 double play. That one is low for ball 2. Obviously, Fabiano can't hit into a double play in this scenario with 2 outs, but a prime chance here for Reading. As for the third straight inning, they've gotten a runner to third. That one is high for ball 3. And that's going to be a 4-pitch walk to Fabiano. Going to put runners at the corners for the cleanup hitter, the catcher, number 6, Nick Mazzarella. Mazzarella struck out to end the first inning his last time up. Now up here on the top of the third with 2 down and runners at the corners. The potential tying run just 90 feet away. Fabiano started but then stopped. And Doctoroff started to throw to first but also stopped. And so that's just going to be ball 1. Now this one lifted out to center. That's going to drop in right center field. That's going to bring in the tying run. Nick Mazzarella with a big 2-out single to tie this ball game at 1 apiece. Tyler Abreu in to score. And now up is the pitcher, number 9, Brian Beneke. First pitch in for strike 1. Beneke, his last time up, he hit a double to deep center, but was left stranded at third at the end of the inning. That one in the dirt, well blocked by Doctoroff, and simply going to be ball 1. That one going to miss outside for ball 2. This one popped high into right field. Rosenblatt tracking it, and he's got it for out number 3. But Reading Red is able to tie this game up at 1 apiece as we move into the bottom of the 3rd. Low scoring through the first 2.5 innings out here at Warren Field. We saw a pitcher's duel yesterday as Brookline came out on top against Belmont 3-1. Now so far tied 1-1. Due up for Brookline is going to be the 9-10 one-hitters, Ben Rosenblatt, followed by Skeffington, and then back to the top of the order with Lou. Beneke back on the hill. He's kept things largely in control against Brookline. Home team with just 1 base hit so far. 1 hit, 1 walk, and 1 hit by pitch. And only 1 base runner has even made it into scoring position. But of course, that was the 1 runner who scored in Justin Liu back in the first inning. Now coming up for Brookline, the right fielder, number 19, Ben Rosenblatt. First pitch in there, strike 1. Rosenblatt so far this summer 0 for 5, 1 walk, 1 run scored, and 1 RBI. Swing and a miss there for... Okay, it appears we're reconnected. Boy. Give a man a brief heart attack there. 1-2 the count to Rosenblatt as he takes a high ball 2. My deepest apologies, folks. I have no idea what on earth just happened there. But fortunately, our connection appears to be solid once again. That one going to miss to the outside for ball 3. Full count now to Rosenblatt. And Rosenblatt lifts one out to right center. Ben Rosenblatt with his first hit of the summer. Rosenblatt took almost all summer to get his first base hit last year. But now just 7 plate appearances was all he needed. And now Brookline's got a runner at first to start the inning. Now batting the second baseman, number 12, James Skeffington. Skeffington so far this summer hitting at a clip of 350, 381, 350 with 2 steals, 5 runs, and 2 RBI. First pitch is in there for strike 1. Swing and a miss there. Skeffington out in front of that one. Bit of off speed from Beneke that time for strike 2. That one comes in around the ankles for ball 1. And that one's going to bounce in front of the plate, and it's in fair territory. And it's going to work basically like a sac bunt as the 2-3 ground out gets the first out of the inning, but moves Rosenblatt to second. So 1 down and a potential go-ahead run in scoring position. As up comes the leadoff hitter, the center fielder, number 44, Justin Liu. Liu hits a high chopper to second. It's fielded, thrown to first, and it's dropped by the first baseman. Liu reaches on the E3. Brookline gets a bit of a break there as that throw just popped out of Fabiano's glove. And now a meeting at the mound as they bring in the entire infield. And it looks like that's actually going to be the end of the day for Beneke. Very interesting. It didn't feel like things had gotten out of control for him, but maybe he's on a strict pitch count. Or maybe he felt something twinge in his arm or something. I'm not sure. But either way, they are going to switch him out for number 3, Matt Fichera. So probably a simple pitcher, extra hitter, 1-to-1 switch in the lineup. So they'll both probably keep their same spots in the batting order. Don't see why they wouldn't. And so Fichera is going to come in with 1 out and runners at the corners. Like I said, very interesting to make a call to the bullpen here. I thought Beneke had mostly been in control. He allowed only 2 hits up to this point. And the last runner to reached on an error. But either way, it's Fichera's show now for Reading as he finishes his warm-ups. And now stepping up to the plate, the catcher, number 8, Ben Doctoroff. Doctoroff, his last time up, he popped out to the first baseman. looking to snap the mini hitting slump here with the go-ahead run just 90 feet away. Lou takes off for second, pitches in high, and the pitcher cuts off the throw to second. And so Lou is going to take second easily. 2 runners now in scoring position for Brookline. That pitch going to miss outside, ball 2. So Justin Lou now with 4 stolen bases in this one game. That's impressive. Doctoroff slices this one foul for strike 1. Reading pulling their entire infield in, as you can see, up on the edge of the infield grass. And Doctoroff lifts one deep out to left. If that drops fair, it will not. Doctoroff got the contact he wanted, got the distance he wanted, just not the direction he wanted as it drops foul. With 2 runners in scoring position, a deep fly ball could bring in a run on a sac fly with only 1 out. And he goes for the check swing bunt up the first base line. And he is going to be out at first, but he gets the job done and brings in Rosenblatt as Brookline takes the lead. The rare 1-4 ground out for Doctoroff as Hannafan was covering first. But it was exactly what Brookline needed. The check swing quasi-bunt there was just what they needed to score Rosenblatt, and Brookline takes the lead. Now Elias Brendel lifts one. It's going to stay in the infield. It's going to be caught by the shortstop for out number 3. But Brookline able to squeeze out a run. At the end of 3, Brookline back on top. Our score after 3, Brookline 2, Reading Red 1. And Brookline showing a good ability to manufacture runs so far today. I mean, for a team with only 2 base hits so far, they've managed to get 2 runs across despite, not really getting any particularly hard hit balls. Meanwhile, Reading Red has had some explosive hits, and they've only managed to get 1 run across. We move to the top of the 4th inning. Engelman back on the hill for Brookline. Due up for Reading is going to be Walsh, Fichera, and Mulvey. And Engelman has shown a lot of poise in getting himself out of jams repeatedly. Reading Red has seen a runner reach third base in each of the past 3 innings, but only one of those 3 runners has scored. So that is good poise that you want to see from one of the top pitchers, if not the top pitcher in the rotation for Brookline this summer. But I'm sure Engelman would just as well prefer to get a 1-2-3 inning here. Leading off for Reading, the center fielder, number 17, Matthew Walsh. First pitch catches the outside corner for strike 1. Walsh, his last time up, he grounded out to short. This one's in the dirt for ball 1. And this one's a high hopper. Skips past Brendel. And Walsh reaches to start the inning. That's another one where we're going to have to go back and check and see whether the scorekeepers marked that as a hit or an error. There's been some difficult hops sent over to third base throughout the day today. And that was another one. Now batting the pitcher, number 3, Matt Fichera. Walsh taking off for second. Pitch misses for a ball. And just barely, Walsh beats the tag. One and 0, the count to Fichera. Shows bunt, lays it down up the third base line, and it's foul. If that had stayed fair, that would have been just about perfectly placed for Fichera as it was going up the third base line. 1-1 the count. Shows bunt again, pulls back, and takes the inside ball 2. Shows it again, pulls back again, and another one misses. And I understand trying to pitch hard to make the bunt that much harder to lay down properly, but got to make sure to throw strikes, otherwise you're just going to give him a free pass. Shows the bunt, lays it down in front of the plate, picked up by Doctoroff, thrown to first. Skeffington covers, and they've got the out. Fichera lays down the sac bunt. Walsh moves to third. And for the 4th straight inning, Reading Red sends a runner to third base. Now batting the third baseman, number 14, Ryan Mulvey. First pitch misses inside for ball 1. Brookline's got their entire infield in here with 1 out and a runner at third. Mulvey hits one, gets past the pulled-in infield and into right field, and Mulvey ties it up. You know, that's one of those hits where you can't help but wonder. I think it would have gone through the gap even if the infielders were in their normal positions, but maybe if they had the second baseman pulled back, as that one's going to be lifted into shallow left for a 1-pitch single for Chris Hanifan. No time to look back on what might have been. The game keeps moving, and now 2 runners on with 1 out for Reading Red as they've already tied the game at 2. Now batting the right fielder, number 4, Tyler Abreu. Abreu hits a high hopper up the third base line, taken by Brendel, thrown to first, and a great scoop by Adam Rosenblatt to get out number 2. The runners do advance, but Brookline gets a big second out, as that could have very easily turned into a disastrous E5 that might have allowed another run to score. Hats off to Adam Rosenblatt at first for making a very nice adjustment and snag off the 1-hop throw. Back to the top of the order. And Ben Wright hits a liner into right that's going to score at least one. They're sending a runner around third for home. And not going to be in time. Both runs will score. Big hit for Ben Wright. Mulvey and Hannafan both come in to score. And now up the shortstop, number 11, Will Moore. Wright taking off for second right away. It's a low ball one. Throw's not going to come in time. And Wright moves instantly into scoring position. Engelman turns around to check on the runner, but does not make a throw. Moore, his last time out, he grounded out back to the pitcher. And takes strike one to the outside corner there. Before that, he drew a walk in the first inning, so 0 for 1 so far today. Gets a piece of that one. Strike two. 1-2 the count with 2 down and a runner at second. That one somehow catches the high corner for strike three. And while Brookline able to stop the bleeding, Reading Red makes an impact with a 3-run inning and takes the lead over Brookline 4-2. Brookline going to have to try and fight back against Fichera here in the fourth, as the Reading reliever back on the hill after coming on with 1 out in the bottom of the third. He's going to be facing the 4, 5, 6 hitters for Brookline: Hoffman, Engelman, and Adam Rosenblatt. Yeah, they hired me, so I'm a freelancer. First pitch, and Hoffman is going to foul this one off for strike one. The Brookline extra hitter, number 15, Owen Hoffman. His last time up, he struck out to end the first inning. Here he hits a grounder well fielded at third by Mulvey and thrown to first for out number 1. Now batting, the pitcher, number 2, Charlie Engelman. That pitch is high for ball 1. That one is in there for strike 1. Engelman sliced one right at the first baseman. Great snag by Fabiano. That one almost into the outfield, but instead going to be a second out. Quick 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth. Now up the first baseman, number 17, Adam Rosenblatt, as he takes strike one. That one going to miss for ball one. Takes strike two there. Rosenblatt, his last time up, grounded into a fielder's choice. And gets a piece of it to stay alive at 1-2. And Rosenblatt lifts one into left. Left fielder coming in and getting it for out number 3. For the first time today, a team goes down in order. And at the end of 4, the score, Reading Red 4, Brookline 2. At this intermission, I'd like to take a moment for a local charity spotlight. I'd like to tell you about the Brookline Education Foundation. The Brookline Education Foundation raises funds to help promote growth and innovation among Brookline educators, growth that can then be passed on to the children of this community. For over 40 years, this foundation has given out a variety of grants across the educational landscape. These include Idea Lab grants for teachers that want to present their students with new and exciting projects, and teacher grants for educators that want to further develop their own skills to bring to the classroom. Many initiatives which have become staples in the public schools of Brookline started as BEF grants. They support literacy education training, new methods in STEM education, project-based learning, mentoring of new principals and superintendents, and collaborative work around diversity, equity, and inclusion, just to name a few. Visit brooklinefoundation.org or call 617-232-3846 to find out how you can help support our town's educators and, through them, our students. Once again, that's brooklinefoundation.org or call 617-232-3846. And remember, as always, you can see all the information you need, website and phone number for our local charity spotlight in the description section down below. Now we start the top of the 5th inning. Engelman back on the hill for Brookline. First batter he's going to face is Michael Fabiano, who lines one into the gap in right field for a leadoff single. Reading showing no hesitation at the plate. A lot of first pitch hits in the past couple innings. Now coming up, the catcher, number 6, Nick Mazzarella. First pitch in the dirt, ball 1. Mazzarella had a big RBI hit his last time at the plate. He is 1 for 2 so far. Attempted pickoff throw, and the runner gets back safe. Slight defensive change for Brookline as Justin Liu now at first base. I'm not sure who took his spot out in center field, as it looks like they're doing that to give Rosenblatt some time to warm up in the bullpen. So my guess is they moved Hoffman out to center. Pretty common practice at this level to have some players sub out defensively just so you can have them warm up in case you want them in as a relief pitcher. That one's outside for ball 2. This one's sliced foul for strike 2. 2-2, the count to Fabiano. Fabiano takes off, and it's a hard hit ball that pulled the shortstop. The hit and run works perfectly for Reading as they've got 2 runners on early. Now batting the pitcher, number 9, Brian Beneke, and we've got a meeting at the mound. The question is, do they stick with Engelman or do they call it a day for him? It's tough because Engelman has largely kept control of his pitches. This isn't like a mess of walks and hit by pitches. The other team's bats just really got going. But that is going to be the end of the day for Engelman, as they are going to send in not Rosenblatt, but number 27, Elias Brendel. This will be Brendel's second pitching appearance of the summer. He's only pitched 1 inning so far, so, you know, kind of hard to judge off the ERA and the WHIP. You know, and we'll see what he does here. So at the moment, Engelman is the pitcher on record for the loss, unless there is a tie or a lead change in the next few innings. Engelman pitches 4+ innings, gives up 4 runs. I'm going to have to go back and check later to see how many of them are earned. So, you know, it's not, like I said, it's really not like Engelman had a blow-up performance where everything went haywire. You know, his throws started missing, and, you know, he had to be pulled. This was a case where, like, the balls just went to all the right spots for Reading. You know, their hitters just got good swings, good contact, and started moving. Now with runners at first and second, up comes the pitcher, or not the pitcher, here comes number 9, Brian Beneke, lifts one deep out to center. Hoffman's got it and rifles it back in for a pickoff at third, and just barely cannot get him in time. Very close off a hard throw from Hoffman, but Fabiano races down to third as Mazzarella advances to second. Now with 1 out, up comes the center fielder, number 17, Matthew Walsh. First pitch misses, ball 1. Walsh, his last time up, reached on what was either a single or an E5 and later came in to score what was then the tying run that made it 2 apiece. That one's going to miss, low and away for ball 2. 2 runners on, both of them credited to Engelman if they come in. But Brendel hoping to keep any of them from coming in. That one's in the dirt for ball 3. I mean, if a walk is issued here, that would load the bases and put a force everywhere, which could potentially help. 3-0 the count to Walsh. That one in for strike 1. Hard grounder gets through the gap into right. That's going to score at least one. They're going to hold the runner at third as Walsh is going to advance to second on the throw. That's another one of those plays where pulling the infield in can kind of come back to bite you. Walsh with the RBI single scores Fabiano. Mazzarella goes to third, and Walsh advances to second on the throw. Now with runners back at second and third and one out, and now a 5-2 lead, up comes the pitcher, number 3, Matt Fichera. First pitch low, ball 1. This one is going to be lifted into foul territory and out of reach and out of play. Strike 1. Fichera, his last time up, he simply laid down a sac bunt. Slices that one foul for strike 2. This one is hit just foul. Still 1-2 the count. If that one was just a little more to the right, that might have brought in both runners. Now he slices another one foul, and again just out of reach. Count remains 1-2. That one sails high for ball 2. And that one in there for strike 3. Two down now, and up comes the third baseman, number 14, Ryan Mulvey. Mulvey, his last time up, he got a game-tying RBI single. Later came in to score the go-ahead run. Now his team up by a couple more runs. Two down and runners at second and third. First pitch going to miss low for ball 1. Hard hit over to the shortstop, juggled by Sheehan, thrown to first. Good scoop by Lou for out number 3. Oops, forgot to update the out count on the scoreboard, but that's okay. So again, Brookline able to limit the damage, but the damage still done. Reading Red adds another run to their lead. They are up 5-2. Due up for Brookline here in the bottom of the 5th will be Sheehan, Martino, and Ben Rosenblatt. Fichera back on the mound. If there are no ties or lead changes, Fichera will be the pitcher on credit for the win, as he was on the mound when Reading took the lead. Leading off for Brookline here in the bottom of the fifth, the shortstop, number 7, Mayfield-Sheehan. First pitch, and he lifts one deep to center field. And it's going to be an identical result to his first at bat, a fly out to center for out number 1. Now coming up, the left fielder, number 25, Ellis Martino. First pitch, swung on and missed, strike 1. And might have got a piece of that one, might not have. Either way, strike 2. Ooh, chased that one late. Did he go around? Yes, he did, and the tag is applied. Martino down on strikes. Two down and the base is empty. Up comes the right fielder, number 19, Ben Rosenblatt. Rosenblatt rockets one out to center, but center fielder is going to be under it again. And it's another 1-2-3 inning for the Brookline Bats. Through 5, the score, Reading Red 5, Brookline 2. That was a very efficient inning for Fichera there. 1 pitch for Sheehan, 3 pitches for Martino, and I think 1 or 2 pitches for Rosenblatt. Now in the top of the 6th, Reading will be sending its 9-10-1 hitters, Hannafan, Abreu, and Wright to the plate. Thank you. Brendel coming back out for another inning of relief work as he took over in the top of the 5th. Justin Liu back out in center field for Brookline. Adam Rosenblatt back at first. As Brookline decided to go with a different reliever. Leading off for Red and Red is going to be the second baseman, number 5, Chris Hanafan. First pitch in there, strike one. That one's high and outside for ball one. That one is high for ball two. Swing and a miss there, strike two. In there, strike three. One down to start the inning. And that is actually the first leadoff hitter to not reach base for Red and Red this entire game, as Tyler Abreu fouls off that first pitch for strike one. Red and Red had their leadoff batter reach base in each of the first 5 innings. That one high for ball one. It's almost kind of a credit to the Brookline pitchers and fielders that Red and Red's not leading by more. This one is popped into right, and a nice catch by Martino out in right for the second out of the inning. Now up the left fielder, number 13, Ben Wright. First pitch in there, strike one. Another pitch for strike two. This one fouled off. Wright stays alive at 0-2. That one gonna miss outside for ball one. This one fouled off, and still Wright continues to fight at 1-2. That one way out of control for ball two. That one is going to miss outside for ball three. We got a full count to Wright. Swing and a miss. Brendel puts them down in order. And the top of the sixth, our score still Red and Red 5, Brookline 2. Due up in the bottom of the 6th for Brookline is going to be their 10-1-2 hitters, Skeffington, Liu, and Doctoroff. And Brookline is going to need to get some kind of a rally going. They've only got 2 innings left to make up 3 runs. And the past couple of innings, Fichera has looked borderline unhittable. In fact, no one has reached base off of Fichera so far. He gave up an RBI ground out to the first batter he faced. And since then, all the batters have gone down without doing anything. Skeffington, first pitch, it's a grounder. It's juggled by the third baseman, recovered and thrown to first, but not going to be in time as Skeffington reaches on a leadoff E5, or at least what I think is an E5. I'm going to go back and double check. So just as I say that, Brookline gets the first batter to reach off of Fichera. Now at the plate, the center fielder, number 44, Justin Liu. First pitch in there, strike one. Liu, his last time up, reached on an E3. And before that, he got a single. He's got 4 stolen bases and a run scored. Whiffs on the bunt, and they're going to a pickoff, and they got Skeffington. Disaster for Brookline on the attempted bunt. As the pitch came in high, Liu couldn't get a piece of it, and Skeffington took off just a bit too much. And just like that, it curves in for strike 3. It's just like that, 2 down in the inning. Now up the catcher, number 8, Ben Doctoroff. First pitch, and he slices it foul for strike 1. Doctoroff got the RBI ground out his last time up. He is the first batter to face Fichera a second time, as he has been working very efficiently through the Brookline order. That one inside for ball 1. You know, when they first brought in Fichera, I kind of questioned why they would take out Beneke, as he'd been doing a solid job, but Fichera has been nothing short of shutdown since coming in back in the 3rd inning. That one catches the high corner for strike 2. 2-2, the count to Doctoroff. Doctoroff rockets this one right to the center fielder's glove for out number 3. It's been a large part of Brookline's misfortunes. They've had a few well-hit balls to the outfield that have just been right at the outfielders. And at the end of 6, we move now to the final inning of regulation. Reading Red leading Brookline 5-2. Reading Red trying to finish the job, stay undefeated. They are 8-0-1 so far this season. Brookline, meanwhile, trying to keep their win streak alive. They are 6-3 so far. Brendel back on the hill for Brookline. He's been putting on a strong effort in relief so far. Since coming in back in the 5th inning. Through 2 innings, he's allowed just 1 hit, although that was an RBI hit, as he inherited 2 base runners. He'll be facing the 2, 3, 4 hitters, Moore, Fabiano, and Mazzarella. Leading off for Reading Red, the shortstop, number 11, Will Moore. First pitch gonna miss for ball 1. Moore so far today, he's walked, grounded out, and struck out. Hits a hard one here over to short. Juggled by Sheehan, and he cannot recover in time. Moore reaches on the E6. It's been a tough day defensively for Brookline. A lot of hard hit balls in the infield. And a lot of juggled balls that have come back to bite them at different points throughout this game. Now up, the first baseman, number 12, Michael Fabiano. That first pitch going to miss, low and in for ball 1. Fabiano so far today, he's grounded into a double play, drawn a walk, and singled and scored a run. Throw back to first, and Moore gets back safely. Moore taking off for second, pitches low for a ball, and Moore takes second base. Two and 0 the count to Fabiano, and a runner now in scoring position. And Fabiano got a little out in front of that one as he rockets it well foul into left for strike 1. That one curves in nicely for strike 2. 2 and 2 the count to Fabiano. And that one off the end of his bat, a grounder over to second, fielded by Skeffington for out number 1. You could tell just from the sound that just came off his bat wrong and ended up being a slow dribbler. Moore moves to third on the ground out. 1 out, runner at third. Up comes the catcher, number 6, Nick Mazzarella. First pitch in there, strike 1. Mazzarella so far today, he has struck out, hit an RBI single, hit another single. So 2 for 3 so far today as he takes a high ball 1. That pitch going to miss to the outside for ball 2. This one sliced, going to stay in the infield. Rosenblatt under it, and he's got it for out number 2. Now 2 down with a runner at third. Up comes the extra hitter, number 9, Brian Beneke. First pitch going to miss for ball 1. Beneke, so far today, he has doubled, flown out to right, and flown out to center. Lifts one out to left and completes the trio. He's now flown out to all 3 parts of the outfield, and that is also going to complete the top of the 7th inning. Reading Red gets another runner to third, but leaves him stranded. And Brookline now down to their last chance. It's going to be the 3, 4, 5 hitters coming up, Brendel, Hoffman, and Engelman, as Fichera tries to close the door for Reading Red here in the final inning. Leading off for Brookline here in the bottom of the 7th, the pitcher, number 27, Elias Brendel. Sorry about that. Brendel takes strike 1. And that hit him. Oh my gosh, Brendel hit by a pitch. Same as he was back in the first inning. So his second time getting plunked, and Brookline's got a leadoff runner on, but they're going to need a lot more than that as they trail by 3. Now up, the left fielder, number 15, Owen Hoffman. First pitch in there, strike 1. That pitch in there, strike 2. Hoffman, so far today, he has struck out, grounded out. And now here, he hits a grounder over to short. Flipped second for 1, and it's just going to be a fielder's choice. One down now, runner at first. And up comes number 2, Charlie Engelman. Engelman takes strike 1. Like I said, Engelman, the pitcher, on the hook for the loss if nothing changes here as he swings and misses there for strike 2. 1 out, Hoffman at first. That one going to miss outside for ball 1. Fouls it off and stays alive. So far today, Engelman has walked, lined out to first. So he is 0 for 1 with a walk so far. Hits a high bouncer to short, fielded by the shortstop, thrown to second. They get 1, and it's simply another 6-4 fielder's choice as Engelman going to reach But 2 down now. Brookline down to their final out. Now batting, the first baseman, number 17, Adam Rosenblatt. First pitch sails in high for ball 1. Rosenblatt hits a hard grounder past the second baseman into center field, and this game is not over yet as Rosenblatt gets himself a 2-out single. Now up the shortstop, number 7, Mayfield-Sheehan. Sheehan 0 for 2 today with a pair of flyouts to center field. First one comes in, strike 1. Sheehan's got some hard contact on the ball both times at the plate earlier today, but both of them right to the center fielder. This one he lifts into right. We're still not done yet as all the runners hold, and the bases are now loaded for Brookline. Against all odds, the tying run is now at first. But Brookline going to need some big plays from the bottom of their order. As now coming up is it looks like it's going to be the right fielder, number 25, Ellis Martino, as we have a pinch runner coming in for Sheehan. This is number 34, Nico Hart. Martino trying to keep things going. Takes strike 1. Swing and a miss there, strike 2. Martino so far today has grounded out to the pitcher and struck out. Down to the final strike. Makes contact as a grounder over to the shortstop, flips it to second in time, and that is the ball game. A third 6-4 fielder's choice is how it ends in the bottom of the 7th. The final score, Reading Red 5, Brookline 2. Reading Red stays unbeaten so far this summer at 9-0-1. Brookline has their 4-game win streak snapped, and they fall to 6-4. Really just a solid defensive day from both sides, but Reading stronger on that defense and got the timely hits where they needed them. Now let's recap the action really quick. In the top of the first, Reading Red managed to get a runner to third, courtesy of an E5, a stolen base, and advancing to third on a double play ball, but the runner was left stranded at third. Bottom of the first, Brookline got the first run on the board, a leadoff single by Justin Liu, followed by a steal of second. And then after Elias Brendel was hit by a pitch, Liu stole third. Brendel was caught in between first and second, and in the chaos, Liu stole home to score the game's first run, make it 1-0. Top of the second, a leadoff double put on quite the threat for Reading, and a single made it first and third with 2 out, but they left both runners stranded. Bottom of the second, Brookline got a leadoff runner aboard with a walk. He was thrown out on a fielder's choice, and the runner that replaced him was left stranded at first. Top of the third. I'm out of cards. I'm so sorry. Do you want to... I can give you the name of the channel if you'd like.
Well, I talked to you last year. You've done some work on the side, right?
Yes.
Kids going to school. What's the best way to get in touch with you?
My email address is right there.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good, man. You're good. in the top of the third. Reading Red managed to get their first run on the board courtesy of a 2-out RBI single by Nick Mazzarella that brought in Tyler Abreu to tie things up at 1 apiece. Brookline answered right back in the bottom of the third. A leadoff single by Ben Rosenblatt, his first hit of the summer. Justin Liu reached on an E3 and stole second. Keep the inning alive. And then Ben Doctoroff got an RBI ground out on sort of a check swing bunt kind of play to score Rosenblatt, but that would be the last run Brookline would score for the day. Top of the fourth, Reading Red answered right back. First batter reached on what was either a single or an E5. I'll have to go back and check. A sac bunt moved him to, he stole second, and then a sac bunt moved him to third. And then it was Ryan Mulvey driving in Matthew Walsh for the tying run to make it 2-2 with an RBI single. Another single continued to move the runners along. A ground out to third put runners at second and third with 2 down. And then it was Ben Wright with a big 2-out single that brought in both runners and made it 4-2 in favor of Reading. Brookline went down in order in the bottom of the fourth. Reading Red able to add one more run in the top of the fifth. Back-to-back singles put 2 runners on. Fly out to center moved them both into scoring position. And then an RBI single by Matthew Walsh brought in Michael Fabiano to make it 5-2. It would be the game's final run. Bottom of the fifth, Brookline went down in order. Top of the sixth, Reading went down in order. Bottom of the sixth, Brookline got a leadoff runner on, but he was picked off at first, and then they went down in order. Top of the seventh, Reading got a leadoff runner on an E6. He stole second, but then the next 3 batters went down in order. Bottom of the seventh, Brookline started to put a bit of a rally together. After a leadoff hit by pitch and back-to-back fielder's choice groundouts, 2 singles loaded the bases, but then one last groundout ended the ball game. So that is going to do it. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Remember, if you enjoyed this live stream, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Brookline is going to be back in action on Thursday, and I'll have that game covered, and plenty more in the weeks to come as we go through this summer season. So be sure to stay tuned. Subscribing to the channel can help. If you have anything you'd like to say and the live stream is already over, you can say it in the comment section down below. You can also go down below to the description section to find out all the information you need about our local charity spotlight, the Brookline Education Foundation. You can also go to the bottom right corner of your screen to check out more information about me. We got my personal website, jessesports.com. Find out more about me, the freelance sports broadcasting services that I provide, and how you can commission those services for your favorite team. You can also send me an email with any direct questions or requests you may have. And you can also follow me on Instagram, where I post highlights from previous live streams. But for this live stream, that is going to do it. Final score, Reading Red 5, Brookline 2. From Warren Field in Brookline, Massachusetts, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.